first things first, I'd like to thank my good friend Jesse for hanging out with us on a weekly basis, coming in and doing the Lord's work for little to nothing. We feed him.
Hey, you know what though? His reward isn't here.
True. It's in heaven.
There.
It's in heaven with the Lord.
It's not actually gonna ever be here, but it'll for sure be up there.
At the rate we're going right now, we're not sure when we're gonna be able to pay him because we just keep taking on more and more debt.
Surrounded by receipts.
Yeah.
Those are IOUs.
Those, my friend, are valid for one massage, one back rub, on a weekday.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals, and they're about to make that very clear. So just kick back and hang with them, because you've earned it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind podcast. This is episode 48. I hope I got that number right. I think I did. Episode 48, pretty close to a year. And to celebrate being close to a year, actually, it's not really in celebration, but it is just because we want to talk about it. We have a surprise for you. So as you guys know, this is the show where we normalize checking in on the homies, right? I'm Mike. This is also Mike, and we want to check in on the homies, and we want to talk to them, and we want to talk about their mental health checks and their issues and what's going on in their life, and we want to hear wins. We also want to hear the L's, but right now, we got a W. And I don't know if any of you guys notice, Mike is wearing a shirt with a flame on it. He's got a torch. He's lighting the path. And that's because we have Walking Blind merch now.
We do.
We're doing a limited run of t-shirts. We got Walking Blind merch, normalized checking in on the homies. Now, you guys see the front for Mike right now, but check this bad boy out. Boom! Back. Walking Blind podcast looks sick. Jesse, you want to hit that solo camera real quick?
I was gonna say, let's go ahead
and cut in on that.
And now me. Limited run. We'll never make more of these
until they sell out.
Until they sell them, we'll make
cool
more.
Design, and we like it.
But being that first wave.
Yeah. So we do have a limited run of shirts. All joking aside, we're pretty excited for you guys to have these. We are going to be setting up a store by the time this episode drops.
Yes.
The store will be live. You guys can order a shirt. Tell us how much you want to support the show, things like that. If there's ever been a time where we've guilt tripped you into anything,
this is the time.
This is the time. We're going to do it now. So please help us out. Pick up a shirt. At least you get something cool out of it.
Yeah.
Both Mike and I have been purchasing. Well, I purchased. Mike got a gift of shoes with orange in them because we knew these shirts were coming. Actually, Mike's just worked out conveniently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh yeah, fuck.
It just works out that way. So make sure you guys check out the merch store. It's gonna be linked here somewhere. We're excited. We're stoked. That being said, let's dive into the show.
All right, let's go into mental health check. So like Mike said, we want to normalize checking in on your mental health for the week. And so basically you want to see what's either helping you or what are you maybe not doing that is, maybe keeping you in like some kind of mental funk. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I have been I've been in kind of like a little up and down roller coaster ride. I actually just recently went to a wedding. My homie Larry got married. Shout out to Lair Bear himself.
Yeah.
And it was a cool little party, man. It was really nice to see them tie the knot, even though they had already tied the knot before the party. But it really hurt my feelings because I was trying to fit into clothes that I would normally wear for a special event. And let me tell you, pants didn't fit, shirts didn't fit. I we joke about being thick boys, but in the past 3 months, dude, I'm pretty sure I've gained like 20 pounds. And I know that it's no one's fault but mine, because I just like to, hang out, eat food with my friends, go home and eat food by myself, sometimes DoorDash Taco Bell and eat food alone. My girlfriend works on weekends, so like, I hang out with you guys. We're like, yeah, have a good time. And then I get home and I'm like, what can I Grubhub right now? Oh, a giant half sack of cookies from Cookie Plug. Why not? And I just fucking sit in bed and
Those
eat
are
these
so
cookies.
good.
They're so good. So yeah, I'm feeling a little like I need to get back on track and back in shape. So I'm gonna announce it here. I'm do some accountability. I'm getting back onto the fitness train, setting up, and actually going to be working on the plan that our homie Andrew hooked us up with, or at least hooked me up months ago, and just try and get back on track because I feel like garbage. But other than that, man, everything else has been okay. Other than like my mental from my physical type thing, I'm okay.
Good.
So yeah, I'm excited about this merch.
Well, so for me, I think I'm doing pretty well. I feel like I've gotten back on, somewhat back on track as far as like my jump rope.
Yeah.
The keto side is not as strong.
The diet's been a little.
It's been shaky. I did really well last week.
Yeah.
Last week I did really well. Got back on. This weekend, usually I try to knock it off by Monday. Didn't knock it off yesterday. I went to Korean barbecue, and definitely didn't. Yeah.
Which Korean barbecue did you go to?
The one at the plaza.
Wang Cho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, the place is so good. But anyway, mentally, I'm kind of where I seem to find myself. I feel like every couple months, I'm at a crossroads with certain things. I had a very interesting weekend. Well, I'll get into that afterwards. But mentally, I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm back, or at least I'm getting back on track. And yeah, I've just had a lot of my mind, and what have I been doing? Kind of music. Burner State's getting back into. Actually, Burner State's about to record, so music has been helpful. So hopefully, I'll be able to turn to music in these next couple weeks, months, and hopefully, I can stay with my jump rope because that helps me for sure.
Yeah.
Diet really helps me, but I've been so bad at it. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
But I mean, you're still, even though your diet might not be as great, you're still like, you've cut out still a lot of like sugars and things like that. So overall, you're still kind of on the right path.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and where I've noticed a lot of it too is like, you don't think about it until you've like cut it out. But like, dude, like I haven't had Miguel's in so freaking long. Like I had it. I know, like I've had it since I started my diet. I've probably had it once.
Yeah.
I know.
Was it when I met up with you? And
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. And then like Taco Bell, I've had once, I think, here.
Okay.
And then, anyway, so stuff like that. So I mean, I feel like even when I'm like, I feel like I've been cheating in good ways. I feel like we've gone to like good places.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, yeah, I'm just trying to. The sugar thing, that one's been slipping. I feel like I've been having more sugar lately.
Yeah. I think for me, like, so I realized this the other day that I went out to eat with Martin and we went to Yard House, and I've realized I've been eating out so much and I'm eating so much shit that I actually found myself like, what if I try something new that's a little bit healthier on the menu? Because I was like, everything else, I fucking had 78 burgers this month. I've had like so many burritos. I've had pizza so many times. Like, I just need to just calm down a little bit.
Maybe like a salad with steak in it.
I got like grilled chicken with pasta.
Yeah.
Still not like the most healthy, but healthier than the Korean chili Philly cheesesteak that I was gonna get. So chili cheesesteak, Philly cheese.
I think it's small changes when you can. Small little victories here and there.
Yeah.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah. So, well, Do you want to get into why you? Because you and I kind of had this conversation a little bit, but why your mental has been shaken a little bit, and why you're back in this
So
back in this place.
So I went to on Friday. There was this thing for like the alumni, social workers at my school, and it was really cool. Like there's quite a few people from my graduating class, which is nice to see them again. And then some people. My stomach's going crazy.
I hear it.
Can you hear it?
I hear it.
How does it feel?
I feel hungry. And so, but it was cool. I met a lot of different like new people. And it was cool. It was like, it was kind of just checking in with everybody, seeing where they're at as far as, like it was kind of, it's funny. Like, I feel like with, just when I was at this school, they're very big on like just being honest with yourself, like just be honest. And so like some of the questions were like, like who here is still a social worker, who here, and then
is there a big percentage of the people that were like, I'm not.
There's a couple that were out. Yeah. It wasn't a very big, but I mean, I'm sure if you brought all of them there, I'm sure there'd be pretty interesting. And so like some of the questions were like, if you could do this again, would you still want to do social work, or how many of you have pivoted out of it? And anyway, so, but it was cool. Obviously there's still a good amount that are doing it still. And, like for me, it was like, it was almost like a what's the word? Like it got me like being around it again. And then, being at my school and hearing everyone kind of talk about like everything, like it got me. And you're going to probably be like, oh my God, like I'm looking into master's programs again, like, online, cause I want to have my freedom.
Okay.
And, I found one that is online, and it's like basically 10 months. So it's a year, but like just under.
So all this right after the decision to announce NBR is going to do more shit next year.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of NBR doing more shit next year, I probably shouldn't sit on here.
I think I know.
Do you know? Did Martin tell you?
I saw his post.
Oh, I guess Martin did tell everybody, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But we don't have to announce it officially.
It's not official. It's just we got
an idea.
We've gone. I'll just put it. It might not happen, but we got an offer for to do an Australian tour. So
I want to go so bad.
So,
but I have to. Let me be real with you. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna be that one or the other one that's always, kind of in the works.
Yeah,
because that other one kind of trumps this one.
Yeah,
but Australia would be cool. Australia.
Yeah, you gotta come out, dude. Okay, so
fuck it, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go to both.
Yes.
I'll go to both. Even if I don't go with you guys, I'll go and meet up with you guys.
Dude,
bring this show on the road.
Dude, we can set up at the. So okay. So hold on. So going back, so one of the things that was really helpful and like nice, I guess to hear was I got to speak to old professors. I got to speak to she's a professor, but also she was like the head chair of our department and everything. Yeah. She retired, but I got to speak with her, and it was really I don't know what the word is, validating and cool to hear them be so supportive of like MBR.
Yeah.
Like my social work program, they by the time pretty early on, they kind of got an idea of my background and everything. And so they've always been like supportive when they realized what it was, and I kind of explained it. But they were asking about the Pacific Northwest run and how that went. I was kind of telling them about my interactions with everybody. Anyway, so just those conversations, it made MBR for me moving forward is going to be different for me.
Absolutely.
Like just in the fact that like now I'm going to start doing some groundwork as far as I'm going to make sure that every show MBR plays from now on, that I'm there and I know what the resources are within at least the venue, so that I'm assuming most people are from that area.
Yeah.
But I want to start providing that. like it's cool that I get to talk about it on stage and that people come and speak with me, but I want people to like get to the point where they can like literally leave with something in their hands. So even if it's just like little pamphlets or ways for them to help or ways for them to get involved and where they're at. So so that was cool because like they're social workers, so they were giving me a ton of ideas for stuff. And so so that was cool. And so it got me thinking about different things, about finishing my master's. Got me thinking about maybe possibly teaming up with like a nonprofit, and somehow connecting that with NBR, connecting that with the podcast. It got me thinking, and it got me motivated. It got me kind of fucked up in like some ways, like.
Yeah, you were a little torn about it when we went to watch Black Adam.
Yeah,
talking about it.
Oh yeah.
So
you had important things to do,
you
Jesse.
got family stuff, Jesse.
He shot us a look like thanks for the phone call, but Jesse was doing some nursing.
Yeah.
So
family things.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm excited with some of the stuff that is out there. Trying to think more. I don't know how to word it because this is all very new to me still. This is on Friday.
Yeah.
So a lot of different things going on. But either way, I'm trying to not be like too stressed out about it. I'm trying not to get in my own head because there's just things that I know I'm gonna do. Like the podcast for me is my priority. Like that's like the thing that I always want to make sure I do, and I want to carry that. NBR has become like a priority as far as like we're gonna be entertaining a lot more things now, and that's exciting for me. Whereas before, it was cool to just want to to have that opportunity to play again and just to obviously play shows, but like those shows really opened my eyes to like the stuff that we could do that's outside of music.
I think that there's definitely there's a correlation between like why you got into social work and no bragging rights, right? Like the things that you guys did as a band, and then the people that you were able to speak to and like kind of talk to about their situations was like almost directly what led you into social work.
Literally.
So the idea of you going back to that makes complete sense, right? Like we joke all like about, oh, the show's gonna die, like but like all joking aside, like that's where all of this started, right? Like there's no podcast, there's no social work, there's no any of this without no bragging rights, right? And so to go back to that, but now to approach it with a different mentality is going to be huge because you guys are coming back to this kind of like, all right, we stepped away, we have an idea of what our lives are going to be like. Now, how do we do this with that understanding of how life is going to be, right? And then on top of that, like with the podcast, like anything that we do, like we do this because we enjoy it. We do this because we have fun. Like we had this conversation with Jake Shipwreck the other day. Like, Jake and I are the ones that obsessively build things, right? Like
literally,
literally obsessively like dialing on things. But all of that is kind of coexists and in line with like what you're doing with no bragging rights. I hate to say like this is your ministry, but like we come from church backgrounds and that's like the terminology that you would think of. Like this is my way of connecting with people. This is my way of, so it makes sense to me when you talk about like, hey, NBR is going to come back, but I'm also going to tie it with, the social work aspect, or I'm going to tie it with the show. And I think that like what your professors and everything had said makes total sense. Like even their little back and forth banter about like, oh, so what you're saying is, like it's just the money thing that's holding you back, stuff like that. That
was again very cool to
So I think that there's definitely there's a place for all of it and a way for all of it to work moving forward, right? It's just finding that like work-life balance between everything to make it happen. And like Me and Jesse aren't going anywhere. We're hanging. We're gonna be here. And then plus, I'm sure Jesse would be happy to sit on the couch when you're gone.
Jesse just foaming at the mouth. He's just waiting. It's finally happening, Jesse.
It's happening, Jesse.
It's finally happening.
But I mean, like, at the end of the day, I think that like when, because Martin and I kind of had the conversation before he like went on social media and talked about it, and then like you and I talked and stuff, and when he was like, you guys kind of all had the same thing, like this weekend opened my eyes, everything, and like to me, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It makes perfect sense, right? Like this is the root of almost everything,
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what comes of it. I'm excited to see what happens and where it goes. And then like we announced the merch today, but there's a couple things that I've been toying with and like rolling around with that I haven't even told you about yet. I'm gonna tell you about after the show. But that'll also kind of help push not only this but everything else that you're kind of working on too.
Sick.
So yeah, it'll be fun. And for those of you that think we talk cryptic, like this YouTube commenter that commented on our stuff, I'm saying my first thought, big dog, come on and get on the show.
Yeah.
The show, we must be making some sort of moves because the show is finally getting trolls. And I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
all for it, man.
Love
You guys
that
want to
shit.
leave comments and troll us, dude? Let's go.
Dude, MBR trolls are really funny.
You gotta understand, you're dealing with people that have, have been in the game for a long time, So it's fun.
My favorite thing with people is when like whatever, people will troll us or they'll say things that call me out, and I went pretty hard at someone, and so like his next
I was
message,
just trying to get your attention, man.
well, his next message was like, he's like, whoa, dog, like, dude, I didn't expect that, respect, I would just say my piece, and
Yeah.
I still respect what you guys do. And I just wrote back, I don't fucking care.
Damn.
So I wrote back. He did some shitty things, so I was just like, I don't fucking care.
For it to be that level of shitty, then that sucks.
Yeah.
For me, like I think anybody that wants to troll this show, fucking troll this show. It'll be awesome. And then if we want to take it a step further, we got Zoom capabilities, baby. Let's get you on the show.
Yeah.
Let's get you on the show and talk to us because that's the fun part. And then we can do a mental health check with you when you do it. So,
Yeah. And for the record, like it eventually did get to the point where we kind of just,
yeah.
I another thing too is for me, and I get this a lot. When I tell someone I don't care, I really don't.
Dude, that takes a lot too.
Yeah, and I just don't because I'm just like my thing is like I don't care enough for me to because opinions are opinions, whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone has one, good or bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything, good or bad. Obviously nice ones are good to hear, but at the end of the day, you know what you are, you know what you're not. And so, yeah, after that whole thing, I was just like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I think moving forward, there's like a lot of things coming, and I think one of the things that I feel like I for myself personally, I feel like I've been getting better at is being just intentional with things. I'm excited about Burner State's recording.
Yeah.
And I have another musical project in the wings, which we kind of talked about.
Mental thrash.
Yeah, we have a name.
Did you announce it? I feel like we talked about it. I don't know.
I think we should. I want to wait.
Yeah.
I want to wait to know.
Wait until it's ready.
Name's cool. It's a cool name. we sound like a freaking 90s hardcore band, but
sick.
But
just the fact that some of you guys' throwaway songs sound as good as they do, it hurts my feelings because they're so good. So this new little side project is gonna be fucking awesome.
It's gonna be fun. But yeah, but with everything, like I feel like and even with MBR feeling like being back a much bigger presence, like it's still not full time. It's still not like a. So I'm excited to still do all the other things. Like I'm still, like I have some plans for Burner State, which I think will be, I don't know, put us like in a, I don't know, explain it, like to play bigger shows but locally, I guess.
Yeah.
The way to put it.
You know what I think you guys should do? I really think this. you guys should get No Way to shoot a music video for you guys.
Yeah.
Have No Way shoot a music for you guys. That way you guys have that online presence. Maybe shoot 2 music videos. I don't know. Maybe come to your boy with some ideas for a concept. I mean, I might not be able to film it very well, but
Dude,
you know, me and Noah can double team this. We've talked about some video ideas. You know,
Do it, because I'll say this, and I love Burner State guys that hear this. We don't have the best ideas when it comes to. I think if we're left to our own devices, it probably won't be the best. You know what I mean? Like,
dog, I will do. That's all I do is sit around and think about like dumb shit that could be cool, and
I throw myself also in the bad. That's just not music. When it comes to music, but when it comes to anything else, like creatively,
yeah,
I'm always down to
for
help.
Dude, let me know. I've got ideas, and I'm pretty sure No Way can pull them off. You know, let us get Burner State some online clout, if you will.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for all the new musical endeavors that are coming out of this. Martin just showed me. I actually have it. The First Impulse EP. Do not play anything, Jesse. It's not on the desktop. But it's yeah.
Can I just say this? So, Saturday night, we all hung out. We left Buffalo Wild Wings, which was
fucking garbage.
You handled yourself really well.
So mad.
I was like, oh, Mike's gonna blow up.
I was so mad.
Yeah, rightfully so, dude. It was frustrating. Anyway, so we're heading back, and Martin was like, let's go listen to the new EP for First Impulse at here at the studio, 'cause Mike's got 6 speakers, and so so we were doing that, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go home. Like, yeah. I'm tired. I have to be up early tomorrow, and so we get in the car to drive back to Mike's. How far do you live from Buffalo Wild Wings?
5. How far is Buffalo Wild Wings from here? Yeah. It's like a.
You driving? That's sick.
Well, we'll say this: it's at least 8 minutes.
It's at least you. So you listen to the full.
I listened to the full EP from Buffalo Wild Wings to Mike's. So like we got in the car. I was like, hey, I'm gonna leave. Let's listen to it now. And Mars was like, oh yeah, sure. So we like played it.
Listen to the whole EP.
Whole EP. By the time we got to Mike's, we were done.
Dude, I won't say it on the show because if they actually used the title, but we gave Martin a title that relates to how long the EP is, and he was like, "Fucking yes!" And then he texts all. So yeah, I'll show you,
dude.
I saw it.
Yeah, you saw it on the desktop. Yeah, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I see. But it's good.
Dude, everybody coming out with new music and shit. I'm excited. I wish I could say the same. Jesse, you got a music project you're working on?
The gospel record's coming out next week.
Ooh.
Right on. I saw some foot pedals in your trunk.
Oh yeah. So you have boys coming back.
All right. You playing drums?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, we got there's a lot of cool shit on the horizon.
It's good stuff coming up.
I have to I'm gonna admit something to you guys. And part of this is admitting this to Jesse. Jesse got in my head. I want to say like
how the
when was Brian
tables?
When was Brian here? Like 5 weeks ago, something like that. Okay. So after that episode, or maybe it was when Aaron was here. I don't remember. Jesse made this comment and said, "Hey, Mike, are you going to look everybody in the eyes, or are you going to look at people when you talk to them, or are you just going to stare at the fucking floor?" Right? And I played it off like, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's been in my head for like 6 weeks now at this point. And I've realized that there's a part of me that doesn't like looking people in the eye when I talk to them. And I don't know if I'm autistic or if I just have social anxiety.
Boys, we got a breakthrough.
But this is like, and I realized it's a fairly new thing for me. Like it was never like an issue before. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you noticed that I'm being very like I'm looking deep into your eyes.
I've never noticed you just been like.
I just like I talk, but I like look at the floor. And I caught myself doing it the other day or yesterday when
Wait, when you talk or when you listen? I feel like when you listen, you look.
Both.
Yeah.
So I caught myself doing it a lot more the other day when I was talking to Jake. It was just me and Jake at the coffee shop. We're hanging out. We're talking about shit. And I'm talking to him about something. And he's sitting here in front of me. And I'm looking over here. But I'm having a full-on conversation with him and explaining like thoughts and things like that. But like I'm not like looking him in the eyes. And I was like, damn it. Fuck. So now I'm making a more conscious effort. Look down the barrel of the camera, talk to you guys, talk to you, look you in the eyes.
Look at this.
Look at Jesse.
Look at this growth.
Look at us. Look at this.
We're growing. We're growing together.
See, we're making breakthroughs here. And now
Look at Jesse.
Jesse's over here fumbling with a microphone because he wants to chime in real quick. So let's hear it. Let's hear it,
Jesse.
guy.
Lay it on us.
No, I just want to like.
I wish people could see what mic it is. I mean, we have that one. We have that one, but it's like, nah.
You know, we
that
could hook up the little
No, it's cool. You're learning how to look people in the eye. I'm getting humbled. It's fine.
the behind the scenes camera.
Oh, the little one.
Yeah,
Like
we could-
Jesse's
yeah,
camera.
Jesse's camera.
Jesse, you might have your own camera. Not today. Okay? Not today.
Look down the barrel. Not today.
Not today, Jesse.
Not-
Actually, go ahead. Not today.
Go ahead.
But soon.
On me. Not today. I'm just kidding. We love you.
People are gonna like start calling CPS on us for Jesse.
It's child abuse. Oh man. So yeah, I had this realization. Actually, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I've just caught myself doing it more and more. And the weird thing is like I stand in front of people and I teach classes and stuff, right? And I'm fine there, but it's just like I think when it comes to conversations like this where
Like
it starts
small
to
one?
get like vulnerable, that's when I like
Interesting.
I can't. I have a hard time. And I was like, am I on the spectrum? Is that am I? And I was like, no. And you know, I don't like mean to make a joke about it, but every time you Google it and you WebMD it, that's the first one that comes up.
That's the
So
Should I be the next guest on Walking Blind?
dude. What freaking movie is that like meme from?
what?
You know what I'm talking about? No. Where you're like, he looks himself in the mirror. It's clearly from like it has to be from like the 80s or 90s.
You went back. It was a different time.
Different time.
But he was questioning everything. I know which scene.
Oh my gosh, what movie is that? Anyways,
Oh man. Anyways, so let's talk. I want to talk some current events.
yeah.
I want to jump into some current events. So there's been a lot of talk and a lot of conversation about Kanye, and his like anti-Semitic rant that he went on.
I can't wait to hear this.
Now I don't know it word for word. There was a Drink Champs episode where he went on and he just started talking like he does. But for those of you guys that haven't heard the interview or haven't listened, like he made some like anti-Semitic comments, you know, whatever. And there has been a lot of backlash about it, which granted it should have been. But the reason I want to get your perspective on it is because we know at this point that Kanye is like, you know, like something's fucked up.
Idiot
in his
savant.
head. Yeah. But at the same time, this is it's a mental illness, right? Like there's something going on in his head that just like the wires aren't crossed or whatever it is. But for so long, he goes on these rants. He says shit that's like hurtful or hateful, whatever it is. And then we just kind of accept it because, oh, it's fucking Kanye, yo. Yeah. Like, you know, like he'll say some crazy shit and it always kind of lines up with like a release or like something that he's doing. And then people love it because he's fucking doing it. Well, this time around, it was so bad that the tables have kind of turned on Ye, and he was dropped by Adidas. The Gap is pulling everything off his shelves. He was kicked off of, and I might be wrong on this. I know Jesse's Googling. He was kicked off of Twitter and his social media accounts were suspended because of this anti-Semitic speech that he basically made.
He has been
right?
blocked on social media and drawn a widespread of criticism over his dangerous and offensive comments to the Jewish group.
So the problem is that when you have somebody who has so much power and so much influence and you say some stupid shit like this, right? Like that's when you get into the area of your fans and your diehards going like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Like there was even people on the 405 like a day or two ago that were holding up banners over the 405 that's like Kanye was right, and then like all these fucking hate comments and speech like,
what did he say? Now I want to freaking look.
you got to listen to I don't, there's a lot of stuff I don't even want to like repeat on here.
When Mike brought this up, he's like, we'll talk about what Kanye said, and I was in my mind, I'm like, oh, I think I heard about this. He said that Django was his idea, and then he was talking about it in front of Quentin Tarantino and I think Jamie Foxx, and how he told him like basically the premise for Django,
Right?
and how he said they stole it from him. Which,
Well,
I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like, from the Social Network, he's like, if you came up with the idea of Facebook, you would have made Facebook.
yeah.
So I don't know, but anyways,
Yeah,
that was clearly not what the what the thing was.
He was also talking shit about George Floyd death.
Yeah, he did turn around and he started talking about George Floyd and how he was saying that like he wasn't killed by the knee on his neck, that he was actually like he went down that old pathway that they had tried to use before about like it was a fentanyl overdose, right? Like that's how he actually died, even though coroners had already ruled that out as a cause of death. So here's him regurgitating old facts and like old, quote unquote, like this is what happened. And it's like, dude, you're setting people back and you're just saying shit that's unfounded, but people are going to listen to you.
Yeah.
Like people, you have enough influence that people are going to pay attention to what you're saying. And this is where it's a problem.
He was on Piers Morgan, and he says there's nobody that gets judged more than a straight white male.
Yeah. So he's so there's there's definitely people that are pretty upset with Kanye at this point, and people
Just
that
waiting for you to put that in.
oh dude, I can't look at the
I know, that's all I stare at.
cameras over there.
That's all I fucking stare at. It's right there.
But I guess my question is this: like, I'm torn because obviously I don't agree with any of the statements that he's made. I do think that he has a problem, and when we keep enabling these like he basically has manic episodes where he does this and where he spouts off and he starts going crazy, right? And we just go, oh fucking, it's Kanye, he's crazy, he's a madman, he's a genius, right? But then it gets to a level like this. But then this is where I'm kind of torn on this is we might not agree with what he said. We might not agree with the things that he's spouting out. And we know that it will cause problems. It will cause issues, especially like for the Jewish community, things like that. At what point in time is it okay to like, and this is the question that's being asked, at what point in time is it okay to like stifle somebody's freedom of speech? And that's the question. Is it ever okay? Or, because him being banned from Twitter, banned from social media accounts, things like that, like that, what is that going to solve? Right. Other than like, he's going to turn around in another manic episode and say like, oh, people are trying to silence me, take away my freedom of speech, things like that. There's tons of people that talk a lot of shit that we don't agree with, that people don't agree with, that obviously you shouldn't agree with because it's bullshit, right? But at what point in time is it okay to silence them versus saying, hey, this is like he needs help. This is a mental health issue that we need to address. And that's kind of like from what I've seen for people that like are on both sides of this. The one side is saying like, man, fucking Kanye, he's lost his mind. This shit is not okay. It's unacceptable. This is, not only gonna, set Jewish people back, but this is also going to cause violence in Jewish communities because people are going to rally behind that hate. All fair and granted. And then the other side of things saying, but you can't take away somebody's freedom of speech, even if this is some crazy shit that he's spouting off. So where's the line? there? Like, what's the balance there? What do you do at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the line is, but for me personally, this is my own personal opinion, popular or not. I don't know. I think, like, I understand people have platforms, and that makes it very difficult because people do have power in that. But I also feel like you empower them, like we empower them. Like, if you don't like something, don't support it. The craziest thing that I would see in music was, like, there'd be a band, and for whatever reason, people would be like, man, fuck that band, blah, blah. And then you hear about, like, people going to the show and, like, talking shit to them. Like, you're supporting them. You just bought money, you fueled that machine.
Mm-hmm. So
it's like, if you don't, like, for people that are upset with Kanye, stop buying his records. Stop fucking, stop supporting him, I don't personally, I don't think people should get deplatformed for the things they said. Like, I think we just, as, for yourself, if when you don't agree with something, stop supporting it.
Yeah.
Stop going and clicking in on it. Cause that's the other thing too. Like, there's people like, this is good.
It goes back to the trolls.
It goes back to the trolls, but also goes back to, like, news media. Like, they cover clicks.
Yeah.
Like, they cover where there's an interest. And so regardless of, like, people want to, like, oh, what did he say now? So now you're searching Kanye stuff, whatever. Like, stop searching.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, who cares? Like, we already, like, he's already, kind of shown years ago that he's, out there with the shit he's into, stuff he says. Is he also, like, a genius when it comes to music? Yeah. For sure. But, I think if you want stuff like this to stop, just stop. You stop supporting them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like, obviously there's groups that I do not like. There's people that say things I do not agree with, but I still think we live in a country. You should have the freedom to say that stuff, and with that being said, if, like, you have the freedom to say things, and there's consequences to that, and I think the easiest thing is just to stop. But most people aren't going to do that because if they think they're doing their part by following up and seeing what he's up to, and then going and, like, commenting on his stuff, or, like, going onto his music videos and talking shit in the comments, or, like, they think they're doing something by that. All you're doing is you're fueling them. This world is, sadly, it's numbers and performance.
Yeah.
And that it's like all in a weird way equates to the same thing. So all that traffic that you're doing, that you're looking for, you're, like I said, going on his, even if you kept all this stuff, like Twitter, Instagram, whatever, like, people going on his page and, like, commenting, like, that's bringing traffic to him.
Yeah.
You're
keeping him in the awareness, right? Mm-hmm. You're keeping him in everybody's brain, right. Everybody's mind,
which was kind of brilliant by, like, for what's that dude, Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Like, he said some things that were, really out there for people to hear. People like, can't believe it. And then his biggest haters were the ones who were keeping him alive for so long.
And that kind of goes into, like, the same category of, like, deplatforming somebody, right? Mm-hmm. Like, whether you believe, that what Andrew Tate said is hate speech or hurtful, things like that, right? Like, because of that, do we have the ability? I mean, I know we have the ability, but do we really have the right to take away somebody's, not only their platforms, but their way, like, their well-being, their livelihood, their bank accounts, their fucking businesses, right? Like, do we have the, or do we have the right to shut somebody's business down versus just not going to that business, right? Like, I feel like the proper channel and the proper way to do this is, okay, don't show up. We don't support his business. We don't support his music. We don't support anything, right? But once again, we're kind of in that, like, crazy level of society right now where they're like, oh, we don't agree with you. Fucking, you're canceled. And you lose everything.
I don't think that's right.
So, but with Kanye, like there is something to say about the fact that, like, that platform is so massive that we know that it's going to cause problems. We know that it's going to be so influential on shit that like it's gonna make an impact to society, right? Like there's millions of Kanye fans.
Yeah.
And I guess like at the end of the day, like at what point in time does somebody, or at least somebody, start to attempt to try and address the fact that this is not a person who is like in their right mind, right? Like this person is not in their right mind. How do we help? Like what do we do to help him?
No, I was looking into the whole, because you were saying, it caught my attention. You were saying that to take away their livelihood, to take away how much they're making in their bank accounts and stuff like that. Adidas alone annually would pay Kanye close to $100 million annually.
Yeah, Adidas. And here's the thing: for Adidas to step away from Kanye, the Yeezy line is the biggest selling line for Adidas probably in the past decade, right? Like that is the most, like without the Yeezy line, I don't know what Adidas's numbers look like, right? Like, because the reality is, like, other than like the shell toes or like, you know, the NMDs or like the few staple shoes that Adidas has, they were all completely outsold by Yeezys. And my facts might be wrong on that, but as far as I know, like Yeezy was the number one selling brand underneath Adidas. And for them to say, we need to step away. Here's the thing: Kanye owns everything, right? So by them cutting ties with Yeezy, he gets all of it. Yeezy's all his. And for them to be like, we can't.
We'd rather not be.
Yeah.
And see, I respect the business side of stuff. If you have a business, like, you should be able to say, like, I choose not to work with you, or I choose not to be represented with this. Like, I'm all for that. But what I don't like, as far as like the deplatforming someone, like, yeah, like YouTube should have, you know, whoever the main person is with YouTube, they have a right to be like, you know, this is a business. You know, it's a business. It's a, you know, and so they can say, like, you know, we don't want our brand to be this, you know, fine. I respect that. I don't respect when they start monitoring what they think should be seen by people or not. Like when they become like the moral police, like that's when I think it's like overstepping, or when I think it's like just shitty. But as far as like, I understand like business moves, and if you don't like something, but again, that's where it gets all, you know,
That's
super
where it gets money though.
Yeah.
Like at that point in time with YouTube, right? Like, let's say that I don't know if he was taken off of YouTube, but let's say that he is, right? At what point in time do you say, like, yo, you're not allowed to be on this platform and monetize, but this person is, right? Like, that's the weird distinction with these social media companies and like the YouTubes and stuff like that. Like, I would understand, let's say it's YouTube, right? Him being not kicked off the platform, but demonetized. That's right.
There you go.
Like them saying advertisers don't want to support that. Fine. He can still post his videos, but he just can't run AdSense on them. That makes sense to me.
So YouTube has a rule, because they did it with Logan Paul when he did his whole Japan thing, because he showed a suicide. You can still post videos, but they don't push your videos out with the algorithm that they have in place.
Right.
So that's YouTube.
So people have to go specifically looking for your content.
And
Which
is like, you know how when we put on YouTube, and we put LO, and it would came out Logan Paul, that wouldn't come out. You have to legit go to write the whole thing.
Yeah, but see, that's still, in a sense, that's still fine, because
you haven't taken things away.
Yeah, you're not taking away the platform from them.
They still have an opportunity to, you know, in Logan Paul's case, you know, you give him the opportunity to try to learn from his mistakes. Yeah. His big ass dumb mistake. That was stupid.
Stupid.
That was so stupid.
And it's just like that yeah. It comes down to like your what's the word for it?
Morals?
not necessarily morals, like your
Judgment?
It's more of like your what is the word?
Discretion,
Your
judgment.
decorum. I don't know if that's the right word. Like have a little bit of class, right? Understand that what you're showing somebody is going to be sensitive for people, not only for that person's family, like in the Logan Paul case, not only for that person's family, but for other people who have committed suicide or who have, you know, lost their lives in that forest or lost family members in that forest, things like that. Like this isn't something that you play off of just to get clicks.
Right.
Right.
Which he was.
Yeah. So, and that, but then again, he's an example of somebody who, hey, hopefully learned my lesson, bounced back, figured things out. Right. But like, you know, like Jesse had said, that platform was never taken away from him, but it was like, hey, stop this shit, figure it out.
Yeah.
You know? Now that being said, the Kanye's platform is way bigger. And the things that he's saying are going to cause violence and problems on a much larger scale, like worldwide. Like that's not just doing something that people go, oh, that's fucked up. Like this is like, it's hate speech essentially.
Interesting. Damn.
So yeah, it's tough because like I obviously don't agree with anything that he's saying. I don't agree with, you know, like I always like, it's I don't know how to describe this. Like I always err on the side of like, let's avoid violence. Right. Like, but that's coming from somebody who's like, oh, like if violence comes to my doorstep, then it is what it is. But at the same time, you want to kind of stay away from it as much as possible and avoid it as much as possible. You know, so it's a crazy situation, man. But like, there's a lot of people coming out like and just being like, "Yo, man, fuck Kanye." Like,
damn, interesting. I've been I think even out of the loop.
Let me see.
I was going to talk about House of the Dragon. And
So even Charlemagne said that you know, it was a hell of a week and that he considers Kanye to be a Nazi. And you guys can dive more in depth into that if you guys want to, but I mean, you know.
Interesting. Well, I have some reading to do.
Yeah, reading and watching.
Reading and watching.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week for Kanye. You know,
Dang. Yeah, I've been a little out of the loop, I think, as far as apparently what's going on in the world of Kanye. So, damn. Well, on a lighter note, it's kind of a weird transition.
let's hear it.
Did you hear about DC basically making James Gunn the new Kevin Feige?
Yes.
And was it Peter Zaffron or something like that?
So yeah, shifting kind of into that zone. Obviously was kind of the last person that I was thinking would be the one to take over DC Films, but it makes so much fucking sense. Now the big hurdle is going to be, because this has always been the problem with DC films, is that they always have to get answered to and be approved by Warner, right? So Warner Brothers gets in their own way by trying to mold DC films into what they think is going to be the hot seller, and they try to say like, hey, we need to follow that Marvel formula, right? And you and I kind of talked about this a little bit, like real quick review of Black Adam. Fucking awesome. We're not going to do any spoilers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's The Rock beating the shit out of people in spandex for 120 minutes, and it was fun. Was he missing khakis? Yes, he was. But you know, it was a fun movie. A lot of like comic book splash pages. Apparently, you and I are not well versed in the Black Adam universe because the kid and mom do end up being characters later that we didn't know about.
Oh, word. Okay.
But so awesome, like fun movie. Great, like cool little comic movie.
That keyword, fun movie.
Fun movie. Yeah. Now for DC films to like figure this shit out and get it right, they have to allow James Gunn and whoever else is in that camp to just do their thing.
Yeah.
Like Warner has to step back and go, yeah, you guys do this. You guys figure this shit out. Because the movies that are coming out that are killing it, like the Batman, awesome. Joker, awesome. Like these are the movies that they're kind of letting them go, okay, yeah, you do your thing, right? You have a vision, you do it. But it also, in a way, sucks because you guys have the biggest toy box of some of the best superheroes and comic book properties on the fucking face of the planet. Marvel now, after this 10 years of building a huge universe, of course you walk around and you see Iron Man, you see Thor, you see fucking like all these characters and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. 10 years ago, that was the B squad.
That was the B team,
that was
guys.
the fucking B team, dude.
No one cared about Iron Man.
Nobody gave a shit about Iron Man. Nobody gave a shit about Thor. No, like these were all just like, and that was literally Marvel going like, okay, what do we have left? Because their biggest properties were gone.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was gone. X-Men was gone. Spider-Man was gone. Right? So now they're like, hey, we need to figure out what to do with these properties that we have. You let somebody come in with a vision. Okay, let's go from there. Right? Like the fact that you have arguably the biggest properties in the world. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Like this is like that's the trinity for fucking
right there.
comic books, right? And yeah, we've had Batman movies over the years. We have Wonder Woman movies over the years. We've had Superman movies over the years, but they've never been huge blockbusters like they should be.
Right.
And a lot of that is Warner saying, no, don't do that. Do this.
Well, and I think like the first Wonder Woman, people can say what they want. Like that was successful. And I think it's because it was a very Wonder Woman movie. It was so focused on her. And it sounds easy enough, but like we were talking about when we got at Black Adam, I was like, dude, actually now that you're saying that the kid and mom have like, they're important, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Apparently they're like actually the heart of the Black Adam comics. I didn't know that.
Well,
I'm not well versed in Black Adam. I just knew that The Rock was in it and I had fun.
Yeah. But that says like, I think The Rock was like an awesome Black Adam. I thought the Justice Society was freaking awesome. Like if you're going to bringing something else to it, I thought they did a really good job with that.
Dr. Fate.
Yeah, dude, that freaking Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
But it was just like I could have watched the whole movie based on his origin, or even his son, following what the son went through, and then that whole thing. Like, I thought that was awesome. I was like, dude, the movie was fun. It was good. But I feel like it could have been so much better. And I think DC, hopefully moving forward with James Gunn and that other guy, I think they'll get back to make your characters the stars of the movie.
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman, like it's Batman versus Superman. Yes, everyone knows Batman has Robin, and everyone knows Superman has Lois Lane. But I know, I didn't mean to sound like that, but
sorry, Jolka.
Yeah, but it's like in a movie that was titled Batman versus Superman, we had Lois Lane on this like she had a whole side story where they followed her. I'm like, dude, who cares?
Yeah,
like focus on
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, make that be what it is. Like both of them like scheming or whatever. Like that movie, I thought was just like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like,
there's definitely something to say about like, and once again, kind of a conversation we had in the car was that like, there's a reason why the DC animated films have always shit on everybody else's animated films, right? Like they're fucking so good, but that's because like you'll have a Batman movie, right? And he's Batman for 80 minutes of the like 95-minute movie. You'll see Bruce Wayne for like 5 minutes just as a filler scene. Whereas what we're trying to do in the cinematic universe with people is the actors don't want to spend that long in the suit. So we're just going to fucking Bruce Wayne it for 78 minutes. And then the last 20, then he's Batman, you know, like, and it's shit like that it's like, I want to see a Batman movie. Like, I want to see a Spider-Man movie. I want to see a Superman movie. We want to see that fucking character throughout a majority of the movie. Batman versus Superman, they should have been beating the shit out of each other for 2 hours. Right? Like,
or at least watching a scheme on how they're going to like do it.
Yeah.
Like that preparation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, such a crazy misstep. Like that's the only reason why, not the only reason, but why I was okay for them to like, when they're talking about how they're going to like reboot.
Yeah.
That whole thing. I was like, because it sucks. And they had the perfect characters. Henry Cavill is Superman. I thought Ben Affleck was a sick Batman.
One of my favorites.
Just that, you know, anyway.
And then you said it best. Like, are you trying to say that Ben Affleck's not a good actor?
Right.
He's a fucking great actor. It's just, this is a shitty ass fucking script, right?
Yeah, these incredible actors are doing the best that they can with what they have, and what they've been given isn't I feel bad for them. And you know, kudos to The Rock. The Rock was championing Cavill
as Superman.
And like, I don't think that's a spoiler. I feel like everyone knows this now. But and if you didn't, you know now.
If you didn't, you know now.
But
skip this spoiler in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. But well, no. But anyway, the Rock was the one saying Henry Cavill is a good Superman.
Dude,
and basically calling out Warner Brothers for being like, you guys did this to him, not him. Like the failure of Superman wasn't Henry Cavill.
No, it was, yeah. And the fact of the matter is that like, if Warner let him go, that would be the biggest fumble, the biggest misstep ever. Like, dude, this dude is like, he's proven time and time again that like, you put him in a role, he's gonna fucking kill him, right?
He's a great actor.
But when you get into fucking bullshit territory where you're like, oh, the fucking CGI mustaches off and all, like, that's where shit starts to fall apart. Like, that's where it starts to fall apart. And so, part of the fun in Black Adam was that Black Adam was Black Adam for the whole movie.
Right.
Like, when you saw him, other than maybe 10 minutes where they pieced together his backstory, when they saw him, he was Black Adam. He was Black Adam throughout the whole movie. He fucking Shazams twice in the movie to where he's not Black Adam. Yeah. And it was for a good reason.
Yeah, it was cool.
So, yeah, I mean, and I truly think, especially with James Gunn, he killed it with his Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that, you made us give a shit about characters we shouldn't have given a shit about.
Dude, he made us tear up for a tree. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking lying if you didn't tear up in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie when he says, "We are Groot." Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, and that's the thing. Guardians wasn't even B Squad, dude. Guardians was like D Squad.
That was like deep cut.
Nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, no one knew who they were.
And then now they're like one of the most loved parts of the franchise.
James Gunn.
And then for him to come in and especially to give us fucking Peacemaker. Dude,
still as far as like, I mean, I think House of the Dragon is now back to number 1 for me, but Peacemaker, dude, that's still
hands down like
hold up.
You watched Peacemaker, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, hands down like probably the best DC show out there.
Yeah.
Arguably shits on some of the movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
dude,
good.
I thought when I heard that they were making, I was like, what? On John Cena's character? Are you fucking serious? But dude, James Gunn, man.
But you got to admit, when they said that they were going to make a movie with John Cena's character, and then we thought back to that scene where they're in the jungle and they're sneaking up on the camp. Yeah. They just start murdering everybody, and they're like, "Oh wait, they're on our side."
Yeah. Oh, dude,
so good. Yeah, dude. I think I was really, when Hamada stepped down, I was really hoping that somebody who understands the comics, like I was really thinking like a Jeff Johns or somebody like that to step in, and as long as Warner got out of their way. But if it's gonna be, and I feel like James Gunn is the dude that would be like, if I'm gonna do this, you have to let me fucking do what I need to do. Like he's the look, I've proven that I can do this.
Yeah.
You have to allow me the freedom to do what I would need to do with this toolbox and with the fucking toy box and everything that we have. So I think that it's a good sign for DC.
I think so too.
So yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to say the least. And you can tell that we get hyped about dumb comic book shit because we just got so excited about all this. But
Also, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I needed to bring something where I could chime in on. The whole Kanye thing was like, I was like, oh well shit.
Like I said, the Kanye thing's hard to talk about, man, because it's like you don't want to repeat what he said because it's pretty fucked up. At the same time, I'm still kind of torn because,
At what point do you?
At what point are we? At what point is it too far the way that we stifle and silence people? But at the same time, what he's saying requires it to an extent. And I guess we'll just leave it at that. Like that's really all that there's going to be some people that are mad by that statement, and there's going to be some people that agree with that statement. And we'll I'm sorry.
Yeah, opinions.
But yeah, man. As far as DC news goes, I'm excited.
I'm excited. It's been a pretty one-sided battle for the most part when people that want to compare DC and Marvel, but I think it's just win-win.
It's tough because I'm a DC fanboy all the way. Like, comic book wise and story wise, I feel like they just have such a bigger universe and like such better stories and things like that. But at the same time, they just haven't been able to successfully execute that.
Yeah, they didn't have a Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
having anything go through him.
And here's the thing: that's not to take away from like, dude, the Nolan universe.
Oh yeah, the Nolan Batman was
right? Like that I love those fucking films. Even like the fucking old Batman movies, like that were so campy, and shit like that. Like they were what they were for the time.
Yeah.
Even the old Superman movies. But now in an age where we can do this and we can make it look so proper and so real, what do? We're shitting the bed.
Hopefully no more. Bed shitting stops now.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, I think that's a good place to kind of wrap.
Well, pick up some shirts, guys.
Yeah. I will say this. I do want to end with like a little, I don't know. Like I said, I was amongst social workers on Friday. So, if you find that you're struggling with anything, mental health wise, or if you know someone that is, and I think we've actually talked about this before on the show, but check and see what the resources are where you live, because I feel like you'd be surprised, And when I say that, like, for myself personally, I didn't realize, because I had when I was interning, one of the things I had to do was to find resources around the school for the kids who went to the school that I was counseling at, and so I had to get on the phone and had to call different places, local food pantries, because there's free food available if you know where to find it. There's clothing. There's places that will help out. There's all kinds of resources in your area that you may not even know exist, and that you may have access to if you just seek them out. So there's also mental health services around you that you might be surprised that either could fit your budget, whatever that is. You might even find a practice depending on what your circumstance is that might even do for free, a couple sessions for free. You don't know, like every area is different. So for me to, I can't do anything unless you live in Riverside, and the things out here. But I just encourage anyone who's listening, you know, if it's not for you, maybe it's for a friend. Like it doesn't hurt to know, you know, what's around you. That way, if you know someone's struggling in a certain area, anything, substance abuse, you know, or like, you know, that, you know, low income, like there are things where you live and there's resources there to help you. So yeah, encourage our listeners to, you know, see what's in your area. You might be surprised.
Yeah. And then also, you know, I know that like over the past few episodes, we've kind of shifted away a little bit from like directly talking to people and directly taking questions and things like that. And that's not because we don't want to. It's more just in a sense of like, you know, we don't want to, I guess, push anybody to give us their scenarios and talk to us about their situation. You know, like we want this just to kind of be like an open place, open community. You know, one of the things that we talked about and that ties in with like what we had talked about earlier in the day with, or in the show with, NBR starting to do more things, the show starting to do more things, and then all of it tying together with the social work is that, you know, the goal of this show, that we've just been trying to figure out how to do is to build community. Yeah. Right. And so, Mike texted me, and by text me, I mean, he sent me like a 3-minute voice message that I had to listen to before my phone shut off by itself. Basically talking about like, essentially what do we do to build the community aspect of things, whether it's like talking, you know, getting on a live stream and talking with everybody, or I still think, setting up a Discord, you know, I know we've talked about it a bunch, but we just haven't kind of pulled that trigger yet. You know, but if that's something that would, you know, interest everybody, like we could definitely get that going. And then, you know, during the week when we don't have a brand new episode, you know, like maybe one night a week, it'll be Mike on there, maybe it'll be me on there, or both of us, you know, where we can just kind of, and then also it'll be an opportunity for everybody who does listen to this show, to kind of get to know each other too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I will say like, I don't know who it was. It was so fast, but when we were in Tacoma, somebody came up to the table and was like, "Oh, you guys play music too? I thought it was just a podcast." And I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then they like bounced. You walked away so fast. I wanted to like hug you, but I was surrounded by merch and tables and shit. But dude, whoever you were, fucking, that was awesome. That honestly was like one of the highlights of that little run for me. And that's what we want more of, dude. Like we want more of shit like that. So
it's like, you didn't let me shit myself.
Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second.
We did it.
Yeah. But yeah, so make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends about us. We do check the listen times on these shows and
give us feedback too. Like whenever, like chime in on anything you heard from these episodes. That's kind of something I think we'll eventually start being able to do is be able to almost like talk about the episodes and hopefully some of the feedback we get.
Yeah. And then so, and once again, like I just said, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check out the merch store, which should be live with this episode as well. I say the merch store. There's a shirt in there.
Right now, it is a shirt.
It is a shirt. And when we say limited run, obviously, definitely first drop, we went super limited because we honestly weren't sure, who would be interested and who would want stuff. So like, kind of like what you see online is that's what's there. Once those sizes are gone, they're kind of gone, and we'll reassess there about like printing another run, maybe change the color of the shirt, or do something a little different that way. For those people that got in on the first run, you guys have something a little special for you guys. Yeah. But that being said, we love you guys. And I'm looking down at the floor again instead of looking at the camera. So we love you guys. We will talk to you guys soon. Peace.